Every mammal on Earth is born wrapped in fur. The bear has it, the wolf has it, the mouse, the deer, the lion. Fur to trap heat, to survive the night, to stay alive. And then there's you, standing there, shivering, covered in almost nothing. You pull on a sweater, you turn up the heater, you light a fire. A whole species that cannot survive one cold night on its own. Billions of animals who have to buy their warmth back. Now stop and actually think about how strange that is. Every relative you have, every ape, every monkey is covered in hair. You share almost 99% of your DNA with a chimpanzee, but somewhere along the line, your ancestors did something no primate did. They took off the coat, they went naked, and they never put it back on. It looks like a mistake. It looks like a weakness. A defenseless animal, stripped of the one thing that keeps mammals alive. But it wasn't a mistake. It was a trade. Your ancestors gave up their fur to become something far more dangerous. And to understand the deal they made, you have to start with heat. Fur is brilliant at one job, keeping heat in. But that same fur has a fatal flaw. When an animal runs, its muscles burn fuel and dump out heat. That heat has to escape or the body cooks itself from inside. A furry animal running under the sun is a furnace wrapped in a blanket. So how does a wolf cool down? It pants. Tongue out, fast breaths, throwing heat out through the mouth. But here's the catch that changes everything. An animal cannot pant and gallop at the same time. When it runs flat out, its breathing locks to its stride. One breath per stride. It can't pant, it can't cool. So every furry predator on Earth has the same limit. A short, explosive burst, then it must stop or overheat and die. The cheetah, the fastest animal alive, overheats in under a minute. Speed, in the animal world, comes with a hidden timer. Now here's what your ancestors did instead. They covered their bare skin in millions of tiny taps, between 2 and 5 million sweat glands, across your whole body. When you heat up, they open, and water spills onto your skin. That water evaporates and pulls heat straight off you. You are, quite literally, a self-watering cooling system. No other animal on Earth cools like this while moving. A human can pour out over a liter of sweat every hour. You can run, and sweat, and run, and never stop to cool. Fur would have ruined it. Sweat can't evaporate through a thick coat, so the fur had to go. Bare skin was the price of the cooling system. And the moment your ancestors could cool while moving, a door opened. A hunting strategy no other predator could ever use. It's called persistence hunting, and it is terrifyingly simple. You don't need to be fast. You don't need claws or fangs. You just need to never, ever stop. Picture a hunter on the open savanna, under a punishing midday sun. He picks one antelope, not the herd, just one. He starts to jog. The antelope bolts and vanishes ahead. It's far faster than him. On speed alone, it wins easily. But the hunter doesn't chase the speed. He chases the heat. He follows, tracking it, keeping a steady, relentless pace. The antelope sprints again, stops in the shade, pants desperately, and just as it starts to cool, the hunter appears again. It bolts once more, before it could dump its heat, again, and again, and again. Every sprint loads more heat into an animal that cannot sweat. The hunter jogs, cool, sweating, patient, never stopping. 2 hours, 4 hours, the sun climbs higher. And then, the antelope's legs simply stop working. Its body temperature crosses a line no muscle can survive. It collapses not from a wound, but from heat. The hunter walks up to an animal that ran itself to death. He never landed a blow. The sun did the killing. And this isn't a theory scribbled on a chalkboard. The Sand people of the Kalahari still hunt this way today, running down antelope and kudu across the desert on foot. The Tarahumara of Mexico run over 100 miles at a time. Aboriginal Australian hunters ran down kangaroo the same way. Different continents, no contact, the exact same method. In Wales, there's a race, man against horse over 22 miles. On a hot day, the human sometimes wins. Over a long enough distance, in enough heat, we beat the horse. In 2004, scientists Bramble and Lieberman published the case. Humans, they argued, are built from the ground up to run, not to sprint to endure. And once you look, the evidence is written into your body. Your legs are full of springs, tendons that store and release energy. The Achilles tendon, absent in chimps, snaps you forward with every step. Your gluteus maximus fires only when you run. A chimp's is tiny. Yours is the biggest muscle in your body. A ligament in your neck holds your head steady as you run. Your foot has an arch, a spring, a walking foot never needs. Your body is not an accident. It is a running machine, sculpted, piece by piece, by a million years of the chase. But every trade has a price, and yours was steep. The moment the fur came off, you lost your armor against the cold. A chimp can sleep outside on a cold night. You cannot. Exposed in cold, a naked human can die in a single night. So your ancestors had to invent their warmth back from nothing. Fire, animal skins, shelter, clothing. Every fire, every coat, every wall is a patch over the same wound. Scientists dated body lice, the kind that live only in clothing. Clothing appeared at least 100,000 years ago. Which means for a very long time, we were simply naked and cold. And there was one more bill to pay. Bare skin under the sun. Is bare skin exposed to radiation? So, as the fur vanished, human skin filled with dark pigment, melanin, a built-in sunscreen, to survive the very sun we hunted under. And here is the deepest layer of all. That cooling system may have built the thing reading these words. Your brain is a furnace. It burns a fifth of all your energy. And more than anything, a brain hates to overheat. A few degrees too hot, and it fails. Some scientists believe cooling the body helped unchain the brain. Once you could dump heat, you could afford to grow gray matter. The same sweat that cooled the hunter may have cooled the mind that planned the hunt. The naked skin didn't just make us runners. It may have helped make us think. So, look at yourself again. Cold, shivering, reaching for a blanket. The weakest animal in the room. But that shiver is not weakness. It's a receipt. The receipt of a trade your ancestors made 1,000,000 years ago. They gave up the fur. They gave up the easy warmth. And in exchange, they got the whole planet. The endurance to walk out of Africa and cover the entire earth. The cooling to grow a brain that would one day build cities. You were never the weak, shivering animal you thought you were. You are the descendant of the most relentless hunter that ever lived. You feel the cold because your body chose the hunt over the coat. So the next time you shiver and reach for a sweater, remember what your skin was really built for. Not to keep you warm. To let you run anything on earth into the ground.